In case you just tuned in on Good Morning Sri Lanka, you just missed out on an interview with Dr. Kumar Idamalgura. But the atmosphere in the studio has changed for the better. Quite frankly, my introduction wouldn't do her any justice. So I'm just going to say it right now. Good morning, Uttara Kunawarta.
Good morning.
How's your morning been
Good.
so far?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, Good Morning Sri Lanka tends to have that effect on people. Makes it better.
Right, Jason.
Alright, so you're obviously a morning person. You woke up and came and met us. What is your morning routine?
Normally, I wake up and go to the gym. I wake up at 7, have breakfast of cereal, and then go to the gym for 45 minutes. Then shower, then store around, and then office.
I see. That's pretty... I should do that now. Work out in the morning.
Exactly, that
Makes
sounds...
sense.
Tara, as one of the leading female entrepreneurs in the country, and somebody who's started really from scratch, and you've built yourself up not just as a brand name but also as a company, and you've really brought a lot of accolades for the country as well. Tell us a little bit about the sort of journey that took you from who you were in Ladies College, a student, an athlete, to Uttara here, the owner over there.
A long journey, but a good one, an exciting one, and one that I've enjoyed every minute of along the way. So I started when obviously in Ladies College as a student. I was an athlete. I wasn't very good in my studies because I was so busy with my athletics, and I loved that part of school and my friends. And
you represented the country as well, I believe.
Yes,
internationally.
I did. I was a hurdler, and I did some high jumping as well, but mostly hurdles and a little bit of swimming. But it was really the hurdles that I excelled in at that time.
Okay.
Wow. Look at you. Hurdling in school.
So, and then from there to university in America,
Right.
Where I studied biology.
Right. This is in Ohio in
Ohio, yes.
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, yes.
Wow.
And biology, why biology?
I always wanted to work with animals. When I was, from the time I was a child, I loved animals, and I wanted to be a vet.
Right.
Then I realized it took 8 years or so to be a qualified vet, and I thought that was a little too long for me to study. And then so I changed that. I wanted to be a marine biologist. Then I discovered I didn't like diving that much. So
How did you find that out?
by trying to dive a few times. And then so then I changed to biology because I wanted to do mostly I wanted to do research with wildlife and live in the jungle and help wild animals. That was really the dream at that time.
Did you have any pets at home though?
Yes, I've always had pets. I've had dogs and ducks and chickens and squirrels and
What was the most
birds
unusual pet that you had?
Probably I had a lot of squirrels. Not unusual, but a lot of squirrels, a lot of ducks, guinea pigs, rabbits, of course dogs, and my parents used to have about 1,000 chickens.
Wow.
1,000 chickens?
Yeah, at one time they used to sell eggs.
Okay.
Many years ago,
Right.
and so I was used to help them with that as well.
Right. So this is obviously like a pretty big. You probably had a pretty big garden with all these animals running around. Where exactly was this?
Actually, it was in my house at that time.
Okay.
And then I worked in the zoo for a while.
The Sri Lankan
Zoo, and I used to help with all the animals and the leopard cubs and the lion cubs, and I loved
amazing
it.
Experience.
Yeah, and the elephants, and so about 3-4 times it was volunteer work at the zoo. Me together with 2 or 3 other friends, we used to volunteer at the zoo.
Right. I've heard that a lot of people tell me when you volunteer at the zoo, if you meet see a wild animal, they tend to bond a lot. Did you ever bond with one of those, maybe a cub or an baby elephant?
Yeah, there was a cub, a lion cub, and which was really small when we started looking after it, and then 3-4 years later as well, when I kept going back to the zoo, it was just massive, and still it would come up and put his head against me. And
is it still there in the zoo?
No, I don't think so. It's just
Hey, you know Tara, right, Lion? And I'll go pet him, bite my hand off.
But Tara, after you seem to have such a serious connection with animals, so how come you moved to fashion from such a deep love for animals?
Well, when I came back after studying, I couldn't really find. Not that I really looked that hard, but it wasn't that easy to find a job in research and looking after animals, and and at that time I had already started modeling, and so together with that, I guess there was an interest in fashion that started, and then I started really doing another business. My father always insisted that no matter modeling or not, which I was doing professionally, and it was quite good money as well, even at that time. And so, I mean, he insisted that I actually do something else together with modeling, so you have two streams of income. I don't know if unofficially we're saying when you get old you can't model, so
but you proved him wrong.
So that was really the thing. I mean, I don't know how he had that insight into saying, that, I mean, they never really pushed me to tell me what to study or to tell me telling me what to do. I always decided on my own. But with this, he was quite keen that I start something in business, or just even if it's just a part-time thing. So that was really how it started, and he had formed the company Odell for me. He had registered it, which is a combination of my name, Otara, and my second name is Dell. And and that was really how it began, where I used to go to factories and collect garments and sell it to my friends and sell it to other stores in
I think it's a bit
Colombo.
of a cult story in Sri Lanka, how you sold your first clothes from the back of your car. It's probably like one of the legendary stories.
In my blue station wagon.
All right, getting back to when you said you started a modeling career, how did that start? Were you walking, there's tons of ways that I could have started, walking down the street, photographer sees you and be like, my God, I want that girl. Or did you actually take initiative and be like, I'm actually going to model?
I had a friend. I have a friend who was a designer and a very big designer at that time, and she was looking for models for her fashion shows, and so she insisted that I come and do one of the shows, and then it became 2 shows and 3 shows and more shows, and then it became like a full-time job, and not just walking the ramp, but then TV shows and commercials and magazines, and it really was a full-time profession.
And you enjoyed this, obviously,
yes,
so
yes,
you're like,
very much so.
I'm a model. I think we have a couple of pictures.
Oh yeah, but it's there. They're not
Let's
the
see what these pictures are. I'm curious now.
That's not me modeling, that's just me.
How old were you doing that?
I was probably, 7 or something.
Wow.
These are the pictures of the modeling days, is it?
Yes.
But tell us a little bit about the pictures, where was this taken?
This was actually a designer, Nayantara. It was her shows that I did a lot of. And those were her designs, and there were all these ad campaigns we used to do, and it was a lot of fun as well. It was a really good time. That was me for Rohit Bal. I did the closing. I closed the show for him at Colombo Fashion Week. But that was quite recently, a few years ago.
What are your favorite memories of your modeling days? What are the insane things that you did when you were young?
It was a really enjoyable time. I mean, the modeling part was also quite. It is quite strenuous in the sense that you have to. It's a lot of time you have to spend and do all these photographs and be. And look a certain way and pose a certain way.
So how did you learn these? Were you trained by some professional, like some?
No, I mean it's just
natural.
I mean it just happens.
So poise is inborn.
I see.
I know, we're in trouble.
No. All right. So, anyways, modeling. What's the worst thing that's happened to you as a model? while you're on the ramp? Any?
Probably tripped or something. I'm sure that always happens. I'm sure every model has tripped in their lifetime.
Do you remember that exact moment? Like,
no, I don't. But I'm sure it would have happened, and it's always the worst thing that can happen when you're doing a show. But it really was a good time, and a lot of friends and a lot of parties and a lot of events and. Meeting a lot of nice people and traveling and actually we traveled overseas as well for some shows, like representing Sri Lanka and quite a few of them, and so it was good.
That's cool.
Tara, moving on to your business role, your role as a businesswoman, how did you really identify, because you were really you just left college when you started up your business, so how did you really understand that there was such a big market for retail and this is where the money was and this is what you should do?
At that time, because I started from scratch, and retail was also quite new. I mean, quite premature. I mean, immature, in an immature stage at that time, and it was really to do with what I bought for people, what I bought to sell to people. Really, that made the difference, and I think people really appreciated. Finding things they like, and in the collection that I was picking, basically I was picking things for my customer.
Okay.
And and really that was really what the customers liked.
Right.
And then I kept buying more and more, and then so I mean that was really how it progressed, and then from being one small store to and then expanding that store. Then opening more stores at Majestic City, and at that time Liberty Plaza was very popular.
Right.
And then a lot of the hotels, and soon the one became, I think, 9 stores.
I was really curious when you said you pick out the clothes that you think the clients and the customers will like. Now, obviously, it makes sense for women. Like for men, how did you pick those clothes that, you know what, I'd like to see him in that shirt? So did you actually think?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, that's what makes, I mean, with any store, from one store to another store, right, to one brand to another brand, that's really what makes the difference, is what you give your customer, the style, the concept, the product range. That's really key to making a concept, to making a brand, and to making it a success with what you do.
Did you have a test dummy? You're someone that you would just throw, okay, try these on, maybe a cousin or a brother that you would throw those clothes and be like, you know what, maybe those don't work.
There were plenty of volunteers, yes. And for females, I used to try a lot of them on.
Okay.
So, but generally, when you look at something, you can generally say if it's.
Right.
I can generally say if it's good or not.
It's a very rare gift. I'll tell you that. I can't.
That's true. Even
if
I
walk in, I'll be like, maybe you might fit me. I don't know. Maybe not.
Was that the philosophy behind the Odell stores as well? Because they're landmarks and they have their own style. So what was the philosophy behind the sort of artwork that goes into making a store, an Odell store?
It was done to be simple, to be elegant, stylish, fashionable, and current, and trend-setting, and giving the customer a good experience, a good product at a good price, in the right atmosphere, at the right time. It was that combination.
And at this time, did Sri Lanka have that sort of retail therapy kind of philosophy behind their stores, or was this introduced?
No, not at that time, I think.
Okay.
And so it was something quite new, and something that people really enjoyed and liked, and it was really at that time a new concept, and something that people could enjoy and spend a lot of time shopping and